Howdy y'all, you got the Bulldog on the channel. What we're working on today here, this is a lesson in why things are the way they are right now. Working on a little Buick something SUV, got the 1.4 Ecotec motor in it. This is why we're having a lot of trouble with coolant leaks. And well, why can't you just put a gasket on it? Well, because a gasket would last longer than the part. The part is broken, that is the reason. Well, why would the part break? What happened to it? It got old. When I say it got old in toddler terms. You know, it's 10 years old, it's ancient. This is a housing on the back side of the motor. I'm going to see if I can hold this camera really still. And I'll grab a hold of the radiator hose here and that's not even the part that's broke. And you put it on a motor that's vibrating all the time. Who would think that would cause trouble? In the cooling system, so it's hot and cold, 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 constantly. Over time, it breaks. It breaks, it leaks. It leaks, your engine blows up if you don't notice it right away. This guy noticed. So here it is. We're going to replace this housing because they almost always keep them in stock for this. It's, you know, available aftermarket, Dorman. And we'll dig in there, drop this part off, drop a new one on there, and make sure that we're not leaking. The cooling fans also have a problem. They run on high, but not anything else. And since they don't have, they has to heat up to like 220, 225 in order to turn the fan on. Yeah, it has to get pretty darn hot. Just ask for the head gasket to blow. Just asking for it. They didn't ask me before they built it. They're smarter than I am. They've told me so. We're gonna get after this. Okay, you saw me putting pressure on it there, and it was, you know, really wowing out. I wasn't putting any pressure on it in order to make it move that much. That's not even the part that's broke. That's just how much it moves. Yes, it's flexible, but eventually it's going to give up. But that's not the part that usually gives up. Right here, what happens to these things is the internal rib in here, since it gets hot and cold, this internal lip cracks, and the rubber sealing surface falls in, and there's no pressure in one portion, and it leaks out. The outside rarely breaks. It's usually thicker. It's the inside portion that breaks. And while you can buy gaskets for these, I think 1 in 10 that I pull out are not broken. And I am including ones that I pull off for other repairs. I could be doing a head gasket on one. I have to pull that off the end of the head. It's already broke. It's just not leaking yet. That is something that we have to about price into every job when it has plastic accessories like that. We have to price that into the estimate so that we're not over on the back end of it. We lose a lot of jobs that way, but we'd rather price it too high and be accurate than to, you know, undercut and then hand the customer a heart attack when they walk in. So this is something, just think about that when you have these cars. All the plastic that's in them, it's going to wear out, it's going to get brittle and break, and you're going to end up with this problem. You might not be able to see it. It looks like a gasket. You have in your mind, well, you just put a gasket on it. There's no gaskets anymore. It's the part that fails. Right here is what it's supposed to look like. That whole corner there cracked and folded in on this one here. Just leaked like a sieve. So we got that all squared away. No leaks. Got the fan on there. It works good. Another complaint he had was the AC didn't blow very well. And we were hoping that it was because the fan wasn't turning on. Well, no, it was almost empty on refrigerant. So we recovered and got a baseline and charged that up. We'll see how it does over the next year. If it goes down again, we're gonna have to find a leak. But it's probably never been touched since it was new. So this is another lesson when it comes to not thinking that a gasket will solve a problem with a leak. Too often nowadays, it's hard parts because they use plastic. Like, comment, subscribe, hit your little bell notification, share it all around. We'll talk to you later.